I'm reviewing another NES game I've just beat, Double Dragon NES, the first game. I beat this in one day. I'll be honest, I prefer this to the second Double Dragon 2 game on the NES. Now, a lot will disagree that a lot think the second game's the best out of the three on the NES. I've not played the third one yet, but I'm told there's only three Double Dragon games on the NES. I'm going to order the third one next. I don't know anything about the third one, but I'm going to play that and beat that one too. But I'm told that one's the worst of the three. I have to see. But this one, up to now, is the best. I mean, it's better than the second one, in my opinion. It has four modes, but two one player, two players. Obviously, couldn't play with two players because I'm on my own. I have no friends round lately. So I beat it three times a normal story mode, where there's only four stages. You control Billy Lee, and you just go through four stages. The first two stages are very easy. The third stage can be challenging, and the fourth stage is hard. Certainly, the start of the fourth stage, and I think the boss before the final boss is harder than the final boss. The final boss is your evil twin brother, Jimmy Lee. But I think the boss before him is harder. The boss with a gun. I think he's called Willie. He can be tough for me. It took me a few tries to beat him, but he's the hardest boss in the game for me, even harder than your clone brother. Even though he's a final boss, the boss before the final boss is harder. This can be a difficult game because you have no continues. You only have three lives. That's your lot. Unless you're cheating, of course. I don't cheat. I play games normal. You only have three lives. But you shouldn't really lose many lives as long as you know what you're doing. As long as you know where to jump and all that. And the only hardest part of the game for me is definitely that gunfight, like I just said before the final boss. That boss against Willie, I think he's called. He's the toughest boss in the game because of the gun. Took me a few tries. But yeah, I beat it three times in the story mode and twice on player one mode B, where it's just a one-on-one fighting game where I controlled Billy Lee and fought a mirror match myself and beat him twice, and then four times actually. I beat it three times. I said five. I meant three times playing normally in the story mode. I beat three times. I just beat once and then wanted to do it again because it looked fun, and I beat it again. I beat three times the story mode, four stages long. Then I beat four times with controlling Billy Lee against you mirror match opponent, Billy Lee, another clone of yourself, and I just beat him four times, just beat the game. So I beat the story mode three times and just beat my mirror match opponent four times. So like three times in the story mode and four times in the mode B mode, in one player mode B, where I'm controlling when Billy Lee and I'm fighting the mirror match myself. I beat the mirror match myself four times, so seven times altogether. I beat the modes in this game. Three times story mode, four times in the player B mode. Uh, a lot bang on that they think the second one's the best, but I beat the second one. But I just prefer this one. I think this one is more fun than the second one. I know many disagree. A lot think the second one's the best in the series, but I prefer this one. What I rate the game? About six. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's better than the second game in my opinion. I had more fun with this in the second game. I beat the second game and now beat this one, and I look forward to challenging myself to beat the third game when the third one comes. When I get some money, I'm going to buy the third one, the final one in the series. Who the enemies? Apart from the final boss I just mentioned and the boss before him, random enemies, chicks, bosses who look like enemies from Golden Axe, them bosses with a moustache. I mean, there's bosses who, well, not bosses, characters, enemy characters, I'm sorry, where they look like the bosses from Golden Axe with a moustache, and they look like a slightly copied from Golden Axe or vice versa, I don't know, but they look like Golden Axe characters. They're never bosses that I'm aware of, except on the first stage where you've got to beat a boss looking like that. You know what I mean? The first boss, he has a moustache, he looks like a character from Golden Axe. It's easy to beat. But that's the only stage where I think they're the boss. The rest is just enemy characters. Second stage, you've got to fight another enemy. In fact, you don't have to. You can just walk down the stairs and end it that way if you want. But I always fight him and beat him. A dude with long hair. And then third stage is no boss. You just beat women enemies, and then you just go through the door. And the fourth boss is the final boss, and the boss before him, as I just said, the boss with a gun, and before the final boss against your evil twin brother. And then you go in the door and you reunite with your girlfriend, and she hugs you in a bed. Well, she's in a bed, and then she gets up and hugs you, and you see a cat. And the screen lasts about 7, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, just sends you back to the title screen over again. That's the ending of the game. That's all you get. There's nothing special, just that's the only ending you get. That lasts about 7 to 10 seconds, just goes back to the title screen over again. It's a nice little ending, but we could have give you more of a better ending, but that's the ending where you just beat your evil twin brother, and then you rescue your girlfriend, she hugs you, and then you reunite because you hug her, and then you see the cat in the bed where she was being held captive, and then she hugs you, and then you would assume you escape with her, but as soon as she hugs you, with music playing, after a few seconds, it just loops back to the start the title screen again. You want to go through the game all over again, you can, but that's the ending. That's all you get. Nothing else. There's nothing else after. But yeah, it's my favourite one out of the three up to now. And I'm confident I like it even better than the third one because I'm told the third game is terrible. But I have to say about that. I don't know. Maybe I like it. I don't know. But yeah, I would recommend the game. I recommend you play it over the second one. Yeah, I'm probably the only one who thinks that. But give it a go. Maybe play it a few times and then never play it again. I mean, I've played it a few times. Would I go through it again? Probably not. But it's better than the second game. But I beat the game. I'm not complaining. 3 times in the story mode, I beat it, and 4 times in player 1 mode B mode. Mode B, I'm sorry, where you fight, clone yourself if you pick Billy Lee, which you did, beat him 4 times, so it's like 7 times. I beat this game in both modes, so I beat this game on the next game. 6 out of 10. Not great, better games, but 6 out of 10, just above average.